And now I am here and I'm going to paint. So I'm going to start with what to paint. I want to show you this. Sometimes I'm going to show you this app that I'm using. Sometimes I can't figure out what I want to paint, what I want to do. And so I have this app that I use called Spin the Wheel. Can't see it very well. But I have this app that I use called Spin the Wheel, and when I pull it up, you'll see it has different options like a chicken, a bird, a fish, a spider, dandelion, frog. I'm going to keep adding to that because who knows what I'm going to decide to paint. But tonight, let's just see what we get. Ta-da! It's a sea turtle. So tonight we have a sea turtle. I actually knew that already. I staged all that. But theater of the mind. But I wanted you to see how it worked. I wanted you to see how I came to that conclusion that that's what we should paint tonight. And it's kind of funny that we would choose that a sea turtle is what the choice would be tonight, because the theme that I've been working on for the last couple of weeks is that it's never too late to start making art, to start being creative. And so it's interesting that a sea turtle would be the choice for tonight, because them things live to be 100 and something years old, and they don't even start making babies until they're in their 20s. So they fully understand that it's never too late. I have this playing card. I guess I should show you all that. It's been a long time since I've done a live show. So I have this deck of cards here with my logo and stuff on it. It's an actual deck of cards, and I've taken some of them and I've sanded them down, and I've primed them. They've got some matte primer on them so that I can use them as little miniature canvases. But it's really funny because when I go out places and people are like, "Well, do you have a card?" Well, sure, here, and I'll hand them one of my cards, and they think I'm handing them a unique business card, and I am, because it's a two of spades, and so they ask me, is there any significance to it being the two of spades? And I said, it's just luck of the draw. Every time you meet me, you should see if you can get four of a kind or full house or something. But so far nobody's ever got more than one card from me that I'm aware of. So I have this block of wood here that I'm going to tape this card down on so I can get a nice border, maintain a nice border all the way around. I'm just using painter's tape. I don't teach on the Artistic Biker Live. If you're tuning in to the morning sketches, I will tell you what I'm doing, but I don't really teach. I don't think that's the point of this show. The point of this show is just to chat. We have a concurrent viewer. Hi, concurrent viewer. The point of this show is just to chat and have a little bit of fun, tell some jokes, tell some stories, see what kind of trouble we can get into. All of my paint is where I can't reach it. I have to figure this out every flipping time. I wonder if I have any sky blue spray paint. I have no idea if I have any sky. I've got purple, I've got lumen, I've got fluorescent green. You'd think I'd have some sky blue somewhere, considering I have tons and tons and tons of spray paint. You would think that there would be... Oh, how about up there? Crotch shot! You would think there would be some paint, some sky blue. Ah! And the whole system fell apart. I'm yelling into the microphone too. Okay. Alright, let's see if there's any sky blue in here. What do we have? Any luck? Any luck? Any luck? No, we have white, we have green, we have satin, we have gray, and we have black. Really? No sky blue, no blue, no nothing? What's this? Black. Black. Man, somebody has gone through my paints. Oh, it was me. That's right. I threw out all the rotted cans. Sometimes the cans get rust on them and they start getting leaky. So let's get creative. Let's do something. Let's do something funky here. Since we don't have blue, let's do something else. Tools, advanced scene switcher. See, the problem is we got to figure out how to do all this stuff in advance. We shouldn't be, at this point of the game, I shouldn't be opening controls and trying to figure stuff out. I shouldn't be getting out spray paints and not knowing whether or not I have the right spray paints. Shouldn't be trying to figure out what lights to use. Yeah, everybody put your masks on. It didn't work. There we go. Alright, everybody put your masks on. There we go. Somebody's going to be really upset because I've been trying to keep all the paint off of the countertop. You know who's going to be upset? It's going to be me. It'll be me. It'll be me. Shout out if you can sing the rest of the song. That's all I know of that song is that the way he says it, it sounds like he's saying May instead of me. Okay, I did all that just so I could do this. This is a background. You know what? I don't even have any water to rinse my brushes out in. That's watercolor. We don't want watercolor. Where's the acrylics? I'm gonna have to have some. I'm gonna have to have some water for my brushes. Give me just a second. Talk amongst yourselves. This is when I would tell my daughter to sing, but she's not in here to sing for us. tell her, I'd say, sing, baby, and she'd just start singing, I love my daddy is the best daddy. And she would just sing and sing and sing, and it was fantastic. She's too big for all that nonsense now. Where is my shampoo? It's supposed to be right there, and it is not right there. And that is going to irritate me because it is not where it is supposed to be. It is not where I left it. That is spray adhesive. Where is my shampoo? I am going to have to get on to some kids. Okay, well, I'm going to have to work without shampoo because I have no idea where it is. I usually put a little bit of 2-in-1 shampoo. Oh, you know what? We don't need this. I tell you what, let's do. Let's turn the switcher off and let's just do this. I've got a little bit of Suave 2-in-1 Plus. It was showing you the toy model that I was using this morning. But that Suave shampoo with just a little bit of conditioner keeps my brushes soft and helps rinse them out. And it breaks the acrylic up just a little bit and makes it last longer. So let's just get us a brush here. It's still switching. Why is it still switching? I told it not to switch anymore, that I would do that manually. So let's stop it. We'll stick with the over the shoulder there for a minute. What I want is for this blue paint to be really wet and beat up. I could probably use that bigger brush. That'd make this part go faster. There we go. That's what I want. That's exactly what I want right there. Alright, let's dry that just a little bit. Take a little break. I think that'll work. Alright, so I used to give this presentation about the importance of art in the classroom, and educators, many educators don't hold art to the same value as they hold math and science and reading and that kind of thing. And the fallacy of that is because they think that art is a playtime passion, that it's a hobby. They think that art is just a way to kill time and have some fun, and they don't stop to think about what art really is. Where, as a for instance, we don't teach mathematics because we think you're all going to grow up to be physicists. Matter of fact, we know most of you cannot grow up to be physicists. There's not enough physicist jobs out there for you to grow up to be a physicist. So we know that's not going to happen. But that's not why we teach you math. We teach you math so that you can figure out how, so that you can logically work your way through a problem. You can get a problem. You can recognize the steps to the recognize steps to figuring out the problem. That's why we teach you math. We don't teach you science because we think you're going to grow up and be scientists or astronauts. As a matter of fact, we know you can't grow up and be scientists and astronauts because there's not enough scientists and astronaut jobs. We teach you science so that you can learn to use your observation skills and learn to solve problems by observing and looking for solutions, and then monitoring those solutions to see how well they work. We don't teach you reading and writing because we think you're going to grow up and be writers, though many can. We just don't, especially today, everybody can have a blog. We don't teach you writing so that everybody can grow up and be writers. We teach you writing so that you can communicate your ideas, so that you can communicate your findings, and when you need to find a solution, you can share those solutions with others. We don't teach you art because we think you're going to grow up and become Picasso or Van Gogh or anything like that. We teach you art because art is creativity, solving problems on the fly, without time for the observation, without time for the setting it up logically. You have a problem you have to address right now, and if you don't exercise that muscle, then whenever you're presented with a problem like what we just went through, you're going to freeze. You're not going to have the opportunity to figure it out. So we teach children art so that we can teach them how to solve problems creatively on the fly. The first pass wasn't blue enough. The problem with this blue is just a little opaque. So we may have lost our sunlight, but that's okay. It's still going to work for us. I can still see it beating through. So the red light, you may be wondering about the red light. The red light is so that when I'm editing, I can just go through and find the red light and cut those parts out. I don't have to watch it and try to figure out where the hair drying starts. Whenever the hair dryer comes on, the red light comes on. So I mentioned earlier I cheated a little. I already knew that my selection this week was going to be sea turtles, and so I've been to the aquarium down in Corpus Christi, and I've been to the aquarium at the Houston Zoo, and I took some turtle pictures. I like this turtle picture, but it's not very clear. I like that turtle picture. It's not very clear. And then here's some turtles swimming with some fish, and I could add the fish. I like this turtle a lot. So let's add 2 turtles. At least 2. So let's put him in there. I don't know if it's male or female. If you know whether or not it's a male or female turtle by looking at that shell, let me know, because I don't have any way of knowing whether that's a male or female turtle. Where's my pencil? The pencil that I use every morning. Alright, so he won't be very big because this is a mini. So let's put him here. You think we'll just put him right here. Going off the page. I don't think this is a leatherback turtle. I think this is a Ridley turtle of some kind. Ridley turtles are unique. He doesn't appear to be a green turtle. Ridley turtles are unique, and the two main species of Ridley turtles are the ones that the females gather off the coast just prior to breeding season, and they all hit the coast all at the same time, and they lay like 120 eggs at a time. And they'll do up to 20 nests every couple of weeks. They'll do up to 20 nests during the season, and they'll do a new nest every couple of weeks with 100 to 120 eggs in it. And that's some serious motherhood right there. I know some committed mothers, but that's a lot. There's my dad. Hey, Dad. That's some commitment to motherhood. All right. So let's do that one. I'm actually going to start with white paint, because I know that not everything is going to be opaque on here. And so I want to make sure that the turtles stand out against the background. But I'm not going to go completely opaque with this, or else I'll lose my lines. And then these things don't start mating until they're in their 20s. They don't start mating until they're in their 20s, but they'll mate until they're in their 80s. Keeping in mind that, like we said, how many nests they lay. You know, a nest every 2 weeks. With 100 to 120 eggs. And the really cool thing is, or I don't know if cool is the right word for this, the super unique thing about this is nobody knows what happens to them. They just, for about 10 years, they just wander around in the ocean as little bitty silver dollar sized turtles until they get to be about 10 years old. and we just lose track of them at that point. We don't know what happens to them. We don't have any idea how they survive. We know that not very many of them survive. They're an endangered species. So we know not very many of them survive. But we most certainly do not know how they survive the way they do. We have no idea. But off the coast of Costa Rica, they gather out there, and hang on, there's a word for this. Let me see if I can find the word. The word for is our Spanish word of the day, arribada. Arribada means arrival, and it's what they call it when all the girls show up to mate. It's the arrival, the arribada. Didn't know I could roll my R's like that, did you? It took a lot of practice. Remember the turtle lady at South Padre Island? Yes, I do. We used to go to South Padre Island every year. The company my mom worked for had a timeshare, and we used to go to South Padre Island every year in that timeshare condominium. The company owned it, so it wasn't really a timeshare for them, but we used to go every year. And there was a lady down in South Padre Island that had sea turtles. There's a sea turtle rescue in Corpus. But again, this all plays right into the theme for the week, because the theme for the week is it's never too late to start, right? And these things start. They don't even start their mating until they're 20 years old. They continue mating into their 80s. Which means there's still hope for us. Can't talk, Harding. Gotta hold your tongue just right. I say this all the time, but you have to hold your tongue just right. If you don't hold your tongue just right, you can't make the marks properly on the paper. I don't care how talented you think you are. If you don't hold you know what, I need a smaller brush. If you don't hold your tongue just right, you just cannot make the marks on the paper. Farewell and adieu to ye fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, ye ladies of Spain. For we received orders for to sail back to Boston, so never more see you again. Somehow that got a little white in it. The ultrasound they're doing on my finger is working. Good, Ivy. Ivy's in the chat. She's got some issues with her finger. I'm drawing a blank as to what the injury was, but I know that she's got a hole in her finger and she's not able to pick up a paintbrush. And that's no bueno. Alright, I'm going to dry this real quick, and I think we're going to call that a background, is what we're going to do. So, let me dry this real quick. We'll take a little break, and we'll be right back. You know we don't go anywhere. You know that's just something I say for the YouTube after we clean it up. Chat room going, not the hair dryer. So simple then, or as time rewritten every line. Okay, that's one turtle. If we had the chance to do it all again, tell me would we, could we? Ooh, I love that one. That's the one. Let's do that one. Look at that one. Papa like goose to that one. Let's do that one. We're going to do that one freestyle. I'm going to do it over here. Nah, you know what? I probably should pencil it in, but he's a bigger and badder dude, so we want him bolder. That going on, we got that going on, we've got that going on, but I didn't paint that other turtle just to be lost. So yeah, we did kind of freehand him. Thank you. I swear it's perfect timing with Jonathan doing daily sketches. I can't keep up yet. However, I showed my physical therapist my drawing today, and she was excited. That's good. That's good to hear. Just do what you can every day. Just do what you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just do what you can. Every day. I'm going to need more paint. Yeah. Practice makes proficient. Practice makes proficient. Practice makes progress, as Ivy says. That is right. Alright, we're going to have to move to a smaller brush. I didn't think we were going to have to go to a smaller brush that fast, but we're going to have to go to a smaller brush because it's a small painting. Tack, 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 tack. Tack, 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 tack. Because it's a small painting. More blue. More cowbell. Uh-oh, I think we're caught. Sounded like somebody come in the garage there. It's my beautiful young bride. Dun, 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 look at her. Oh my goodness, she's so pretty. Look at her. I just love her so much.
Sorry.
What are you doing?
I say hi.
Give me smooches.
I did.
Give me smooch. What? I was for smooches.
But I kiss your
No,
face.
you kiss me again, please, 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 please. You're Catholic. You can't say no.
Oh my gosh.
I said do it. You're Catholic. And it's Lent. Ow! There's a mosquito on my head.
Yep. Next one I'm gonna punish.
Next one is going to be on my... Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about you this morning.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We were talking this morning about how you would pose naked for me if I asked you to.
What?
For figure drawing. But every time you do, we have more kids. It's a weakness. She can't keep her hands off me. Among other parts of her. You can't say that. This is a live broadcast. There's children watching. problem with these tiny brushes, sorry, the the problem with these tiny brushes is that they collect water. And so you'll be painting along, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, here comes a water drop. That you weren't expecting. This edge is lost. This is a highlight. This highlight edge is lost. I don't really want to lose it in the painting, but I do need it to be just a little obscured, or we're going to lose the meaning of the highlight. So I don't really want to lose that. I don't really want to lose that edge. By losing the edge, what I mean is you're not supposed to draw lines, right? You're supposed to just let the colors define the edges. But sometimes the edges are lost because the flipper is just as bright as the reflection on the neck, for instance. And so sometimes you lose that edge. And a prime example of that is right here. You can't see. Right here on the edge of the head versus the shell is a really good opportunity to lose that edge, and I don't want to. It does in the photograph. So we're trying not to on the painting. They're talking about cell phones in the chat. I kind of wish that I had defined this turtle a little better. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. See the drops? The drops just gather on the brush. I don't know how to prevent it. If you know how to prevent it, short of drying the paint off your brush every time you put paint on your brush, if you have any idea how to prevent it, let us know in the comments. because it has been an issue for me for ever since I started painting. Ever since I started painting tiny things. Some things you can put lines on. Some things need lines. Sometimes lines are expected. It's also important to push the darks. Make them shadows. Shadowy. Do. Can't talk. All right, I like the way that's looking. Now, it's okay. You'll be able to go back to the recording, Ivy. We'll post the recording. She says by the time she gets set up, she's busy setting everything up. She says by the time we get set up, we'll be done, and that's okay. Let's go to the smallest brush here. We're just adding a splash of color. And then we'll go in with some pure white and add some highlights. See, that one drop of water is all it takes to ruin everything. Go in with some highlights here, because we can highlight the back of this turtle. And that. And that. And that. Right? And then we can come up here and we can highlight his head. We can highlight the edge of his shell, top of his shell. We can highlight the top of this flipper. We can highlight the top of this flipper. You don't want to do too much, because that too much makes it dull. Right? Same with black. Same is true with black. You want to be very sparing with black and white. She says, once the weather warms up, she'll be back in the studio, and that'll help. Oh yeah, you're up there where it's still cold, where God still has his back turned on you. I'm a firm believer that solid water is an abomination. Cold weather is the absence of God's love. Do-do-do. Tiny bubbles in my beer make me happy. I don't think that's how that song goes. Alright. I like it. I think the turtle in the back is probably still just a little bit too much. So I think, but I don't know yet if I want to white it out or if I want to gray it out. I think I want to gray it out. So I'm going to take just a little bit of this blue, just a little bit of white. I'm going to just do a real thin, just a real thin, maybe a little more. Didn't want to lose that turtle entirely. So let's see if we can wash some of that back off. There we go. There we go. Now, there we go. Can't talk. Harding. Alright, let's try this real quick. You know what I forgot to do is I forgot to stop and do what's on your easel. So let's dry this real quick. Ah, Pamela J. French. I just knocked the camera off. Dun, dun, dun. Thanks, Pamela. She's in the chat. She says she's happy to see me painting again. So, let's see if we can even do this. Let's see if we can switch to the screen. Oh, look, we can. And then let's go to the email. And let's see what's on the easels. So the only easel that I have so far this week is Ivy. And it's the picture of Ivy's. Avert your eyes. It may be porn. So it's not porn. But it's the picture of Ivy's fire truck that she drew. Let me do this and this and this. Nope, I want that gone. I want this in front because I want to see what you can see. Here, I want to see what you can see. There's a delay. So it'll take me a minute. And then come back over here and do this. So yeah. There is Ivy's fire truck. I don't know how long the lag is, so it might take a little while to get there. But you can see in her picture, you can see she has a hole in her finger where the cat bit her, right above where she's gripping that pencil. So she's got the cat scratch fever, trying to work her way through there. But hopefully she'll get better soon. My easel is a whole lot shorter because honestly I've done everything online. So let's see here. My easel's a whole lot less involved because just for the last few days we've got the soldier there, we've got the submarine, we have the bananas. All of this is online. You can watch all these shorts. You can watch all these happen as shorts, or you can watch the whole live thing. An iguana, fire truck. There's my fire truck next for Ivy's fire truck. There's dragon warrior. There's a crocodile. There's an octopus. I'm concerned the live action seems to be frozen. There's a fire truck. there's there's a ferret. I wonder if I refresh this, if I'll lose if I fall off, it's because I refreshed this. Let's see we're just going to see what happens. But if everything goes blank, it's because I refreshed it. And then today, there's the howling wolf. So that's what I have on. That's what I have on my easel so far this week. Plus, I've got some things. Oh, the lag's caught right back up. That's perfect. Plus, I've got some things in here that, like I've got the Deporticade de Mabolita, I've got the Snail Feast, and what's the other one? That one's covered already. I think the Snail Feast was the last thing. Yeah. So that's that. That's my easel. My easel was real easy to cover. If you want to be a part of what's on your easel, simply send an email to blade@artisticbiker.com with easel in the subject line, and we'll use your works to inspire other people to do works, because that's what this is really all about, is inspiration. Kind of back to what we were talking about, it's never too late to start, which is why it was interesting that these turtles were the focal point today, because again, they don't breed until they don't mate until they're in their 20s. We lose them for 10 years with no idea what happens to them. And can't talk, Harding. We lose them for 10 years with no idea what happens to them. And then they come back and they're 10, 20 years old, and they start mating. Turning out 120 eggs out of whack every 2 weeks. And they do it till they're 80. They're not the only ones. Van Gogh didn't start till he was in his 30s. Grandma Moses didn't start till she was in her 70s, 80s. Monet was in his 40s when he started, after his wife died, when he started seriously doing art. So it's never too late. If you're sitting there thinking, I can't, I'm too old. It's never too late. Till you're dead. And then when you're dead, it's too late by then. Hopefully you'll start before then. Alright. It is so easy. That was the song. Pamela, you're not going to believe this. Look here. Well, you may believe this. You just know me so well. Because that was the song that I had pulled up to play with this one. The Little Mermaid Under the Sea. The seaweed is always greener than somebody else's lake. You dream about going up there, but that is a big mistake. Just look at the world around you, right here on the ocean floor. Such wonderful things around you. What more is you looking for? Under the sea. on that I see. Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. What? I was just painting. I feel like this other turtle back here is completely lost now. I don't want him completely lost. Let's go to a smaller brush. I don't want him completely lost. There we go. I think that's going to do it for me. So let me dry this real quick. And then we'll hit it with some spray to seal it in. Maybe before we call it quits, we can reclaim some of our seaweed. You guys don't mind if we go just a few more minutes, do you? I know you're all eager to get back to whatever it is people do when they're not doing this. I have no idea. But let's see if we can reclaim just a little bit of our seaweed. Where'd I go? Where did I do that? I did that there is where I did that. Just a little bit. I mean, the seaweed is obviously not the highlight of the thing, so we don't necessarily want a whole lot there. But I want it obvious that there's something back there. Like that. There we go. I like that. I like that. I feel like that. I think that helped a lot. So let me dry that. Bubbles. She says bubbles. Just a couple of bubbles. Get the urge to start and pray. You got the spirit, you got the head. I better see. Alright. I think that's dry. Now we need the satin finish and not the white primer. Please and thank you. Will not be white primering. This is clear matte, clear matte, clear. Is that satin? Flat. Nope, that's not satin. Where is my satin paint? Goodness. Got frustrated a while ago because I thought the kids had taken off with my stuff, and it wasn't them. It wasn't them. Oh no, this is a different lid. Why is this a different spray top? What makes this spray top different than that spray top? That's Rust-Oleum. What is going on here? How come that's different? Oh, because this one goes down in the can, and that one fits over the top of the can. Nope, that's still not right. How about this one? Yeah, that's what we want. Yeah, that's what we want. Nope, it's not. Well, I found a can of spray paint, but it's not. It doesn't have a sprayer on it. Hang on, let me go see, because I think my wife used mine, and I think it's sitting right here inside this little room. That is white paint. Where is the spray paint? Okay, everybody put your masks on. Now, I did not use primer. Everybody put your masks on. Now make sure you're wearing a mask when you spray paint, especially indoors. You need good ventilation. So no, I didn't use primer, Pamela, but we did a class at the Ninnekah High School one time. Hi, Miss Allie Kay. We did a class at the Ninnekah High School one time, and when we did many paintings like this. And this young lady, she worked hard. She did a beautiful, beautiful feather. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. And when she went to put a clear coat on the top of it, she used the primer. And oh my God, we were all heartsick for her. Luckily, we got a picture of it before, so we were at least able to share a picture of it with her. But I mean, we were all just crushed for her. And nobody did it to her. She did it herself. She walked over and they were in completely different parts of the room. She just walked over and picked up the wrong stuff. But it was heartbreaking because her feather was beautiful. Guarantee girl 2 steals this one. She is terrible when it comes to stuff like this. I guarantee she'll steal it. Alright, I'm going to put another coat of clear sealant on it so that it seals the edges where the tape, see the tape makes a border and the paint sticks up from there, and I don't like that because I feel like that makes it easy to scratch off. So yeah, it made us all sick. Everybody put your mask back on. All right. So that is see if you can see it. Can you see it? That is the finished painting. I think it turned out pretty good. What do you think? But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Allie just got here. Poor thing. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. You know, I look forward to this. It took me a long time to work up the nerve to get back onto the camera. But I think the morning shows, in the mornings at 5:30, if you're up at 5:30, I actually stream these sketches, the random object sketches. I actually stream them in the morning at 5:30 live. That's more of a demonstration where I actually talk through what I'm doing. But you know, this is really just us. This is just us chit-chatting while we paint. Hey, Linda, I didn't see you sneak in. But this is just us chit-chatting while we go through it. But again, I appreciate you joining me. It'll take a couple of hours for the live stream to cycle through and be available for everybody. And I'm probably going to edit out a bunch of the hair drying and stuff. So, but I appreciate you stopping by, and have a great week. And again, I hope to see some of you in the morning at